Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakaha, Kodash. Double honors to the apostles of great millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations unto the elect of the nation of Israel. This is your brother Ayash Gabar from the GMS Virginia camp, coming at you with another lesson that I pray that you find edifying through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai. The book of Amos, chapter 8 and verse 11. Behold, the day is come, saith Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai power, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst of water, but of hearing the words of Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai. And steps are being made at a gradual level to some, but at a expedient level for those that are watching, that things are being put in place to control what you see, what you hear, and what you say. And these devices are in no means a betterment for the people, when in fact these devices that are being put in place are there to somehow control what they want you to understand, but they put it in such a way that have you think that it is a good thing, when in fact it is totally against you. So last week, or probably the week before, over in Europe, they had put in place a age verification requirement on certain sites. Now, other brothers have discussed this before, throughout the course of the week, and have made it very clear, what this devil is doing, for we are not ignorant of his devices. And, this is just my 2 cents on the same topic. So, about a week ago, maybe a week and a half or so ago, Europe had put these ID verification requirements, upon certain social media sites, claiming that it is, or it will help cut back on the amount of information that, the children are able to see, and what information is allowed or not allowed. Well, over here in Babylon the Great, they're pushing that narrative even further by having the audacity to say that it is for the protection of the children, when in fact this place gives 2 shits about the welfare of the children. How can you sit back and say that, this age verification requirement is put in place to help protect the children, when in fact you sit back and you watch videos of children being pulled away from their families, and left on the sidewalk, and their father or their families hauled off. How can you sit there and say that it's for the betterment of the children, when in fact, you haul the father off when he's with his wife and children? The blatant hypocrisy that they try to get the people with is amazing, and the people just don't understand what's going on. They see what's happening, and they hear what they're saying that this new age verification is about, but they're not putting 2 and 2 together. It is to control the narrative. It is so that whenever they decide to do something, there won't be a post that has a video attached to it showing you otherwise. But Yahweh Shem Yahushai, his eyes are 10,000 times brighter than the sun. So, you know, this devil might think that he's getting away with ever he thinks he's going to get away with by, imposing these new restraints on these social media websites. But, the Lord sees exactly what he's doing. And not only does the Lord see exactly what he's doing, the prophets of Yahweh Shem Yahushai sees it as well and is calling them out, on it. So this article is out of the Game Rant. And, like I said, this is going to be a short article. A short lesson directed to the point. And this is out of the Game Rant. And it's dated July 30th, 2025. And the title of it reads, YouTube is rolling out a new controversial feature. It's controversial because the people don't agree with it. But it's not going to stop what this devil wants to do. As it says in the book of Job, the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. So anything that this devil decides to do, more than likely he's going to make it happen until our Lord and Savior, Yahweh Shah, comes, to put him under his feet. So, going on with the article, it reads, YouTube is officially testing a new age verification feature in the United States, attempting to estimate the ages of users regardless of the account listed birth date. Online safety has been a hot-button issue throughout the recent months, with many developers and platforms looking to implement a more strict age verification software. So that is not the case. But what is the case is they're not happy with the amount of information that's being spread amongst the people. They're not happy with how the people are beginning to wake up and see the bullshit that are happening. You can sit here and you can watch one person say that, nothing's happening over here, but you can watch a video showing that there is something happening exactly where they're saying nothing is happening. And they don't like that. They don't like the people to see them for who they are, And also, another thing that they don't like is the fact that the prophets are out there on the highways and byways with the gospel that we've got, the gospel of truth, the gospel of prophecy. They don't like that, and they got to do whatever it is that they need to do to quell the amount of information that's going out. Anyhow, reading on, several platforms like Discord and Xbox have already begun to roll out new ways to confirm your age, with many using AI to distinguish a person's age from their photos. Now, YouTube is the next domino to fall in the growing trend. That has always been the case. As I said, they have always made a second form of verification, available to you people. And it's going to get to the point where you're going to have to prove who you are, even with your bank accounts. You're going to have to prove who you are, to do anything in this place. Which is why they want some sort of device under your skin called the RFID microchip, which is the mark of the beast, to truly identify who you are. And this is just one step closer towards that paradigm. Age verification and the increased push for online safety for children has hit a fever pitch in recent weeks, partly owning, and this devil is cunning, partly owing to a new law pushed in the United Kingdom. The Online Safety Act officially kicked into action earlier this month, with everything from adult content to horror games being restricted within the region. Steam, which is a gaming platform, has even taken this push a step further, with the platform delisting over 100 horror and adult themed games from the online marketplace. YouTube is now becoming the newest platform to push age verification, though not in the UK. So again, they say it's for the children, they say it's for the children's safety, but there's, that is just their excuse, to grab the hearts of the people to say, yeah, it's for the kids, when in fact it's for you, but they're using your kids to get to you. And they've done this before, and they'll continue to do it over and over again, just so long as it works. It worked last time, and it's going to work again. And it's going to get to the point where he's going to have a total shutdown of the system. And when it comes back up, these things will already be in place, and you're going to have to force to comply. You're going to have to be forced to comply. And this is just one step closer towards their system. This is one step closer to their NWO. And you people just don't see it, Reading on with the article, YouTube testing new age verification feature. Like I said, it's always been there. They've always asked you your age, and they've always asked you if this content is for kids. I can remember having to enter in this information years ago. YouTube has now begun to roll out its own age verification process in the United States. The Google-owned video platform will now begin to estimate the age of users using a variety of information ranging from YouTube activity to the account's credit date, creation date. YouTube's new policy has the ability to automatically restrict accounts it believes to be underage, with users able to verify their own age using a government-issued ID. And this is a push to get you to use the real ID. This is also a push to get them to know exactly who you are. Not exactly your age, but exactly who you are that are publishing information that they don't like. A photo or credit card. YouTube has already acknowledged that many fans believe that the age estimation function will not be accurate. And they don't care. This is something that has to be put in place, and this is something that they will put in place. YouTube's new age verification program has already seen significant backlash from fans, particularly towards the verification methods. While YouTube confirmed the system was already in place within other regions, some users have expressed uncertainty about submitting their official government documents to Google. The change likely will not bend to pushback from users either, with the UK's Online Safety Act likely remaining in place despite the surveys ameshing over 350,000 signatures calling for its repeal. And again, they don't care what you think or how you feel about it. It's something that they want to do, and it's something that they're going to do because they have the power to do so. You know, when it is light, they will practice it. And they're practicing it because Yahweh Shem Yahushai has given them the authority to do so. These people are in for fucking... Anyhow, online safety measures from both individual platforms and local governments will likely continue. Though fans have begun to find ways to exploit the system, all these people are doing is helping the AI understand ways to stop things from happening. You see, what they don't understand is with this new AI, you know, its main, or one of its objectives is to learn. It is to learn you. It is to learn the system. And once AI has understood that certain exploits are not welcome, all it's going to do is create an algorithm to block it within itself. So the only thing that people are really doing is helping AI become even more powerful. You know, all these people who are trying to exploit this thing is actually doing is helping AI become even more powerful. Reading on with the article. Some users based in the UK discovered that Death Stranding's photo mode could be used to bypass the system, with the verification falsely reporting screenshots as real photos. Many have also suggested VPNs are effective workarounds for age verification systems, allowing users to change their connections to a region by lacking the features. The battle for online safety for younger users will likely continue to rage on as many more companies become involved in the controversial trend. And you people don't understand. This is a system that's going to be put in place whether you like it or not. And it is a system that they need in place, you know, to control the narrative of the people. The book of 2 Ezra, chapter 5 and verse 10. And shall be sought of many, and not be found. Then shall unrighteousness and inconsistency be multiplied upon the earth. One land also shall ask another, and say, Is righteousness that maketh a man righteous gone through thee? And they shall say, No. And at the same time shall men hope, but nothing obtain. They shall labor, but their ways shall not prosper. We are entering a time of the famine of the word. Not a famine of bread or water, but of hearing the words of Yahweh Shem Yahushai. And very soon, wit is going to hide itself. Very soon, you're not going to be able to get this information on YouTube, you know, and this is a sign that the end is a lot closer than what, you know, you Jakes actually believe. If you actually believe that this is the end. And very soon, a lot of people are going to be confounded, not understanding what's going on. You know, and quite honestly, if I had read up a little further, you know, it goes into that. The book of 2 Ezra, chapter 5 and verse 8. There should be a confusion also in many places, And the fire shall be upset out again, and the wild beasts shall change their places, and monstrous women shall bring forth monsters. And shall the waters be found sweet, and all friends shall destroy one another. Then shall wit hide itself, and understanding withdraw itself into a secret chamber. And this is the time that you're in. This is the time that we're in. And, this devil is showing you what his plan, or telling you what his plans are. But the prophets of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai are telling you what time you're in. You're in a time of the famine of the word. And if you hearken into this and get this, and again, we know that 2/3 ain't going to get it. But primarily, we have to warn the wicked, but we also have to warn those who are of the elect or of the hopeful elect what time that they're in. And you're in a time of great judgment, because very soon this devil is about to shut it all down, and you're not going to be able to get this information. And whatever information that you've gotten up into the point where they shut it down, is what you're going to have to go by, unless you've been recording videos and you have them on some sort of special device where you can listen to it. And if that's not what you've been doing, then we're in that time. I'll just say it that way. Anyhow, I'm not gonna drag it on or anything like that, but I just wanted to bring this article out that YouTube is on the chopping block. And the words of Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai is what they're after, primarily. But if they could kill 2 birds, or attempted to kill multiple birds with 1 stone, they'll do so. And so with that, I'd like to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Rakaha, Quadash. Double honor to the apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations unto the elect of the nation of Israel. Shalom.